Episode 102. Thank you all for listening to episode 101, Living Through Days of Thunder, a BirthDubb bio. I am Gray here with my co-host and only one,
Burr.
Burr is not my friend. I can tell you that. Thankfully my superpower is still intact of never being hungover. That was a rough day for me, still at episode 100.
Yeah, when you release it all before 8 p.m., that's a good start.
Yeah, and I'm happy the non-hungover life of myself is still intact, so I appreciate that very much. We're not going to go into too much today. We're trying to keep this episode short. Our episode on Thursday that came out from the 7th was actually 2 hours. It was a good to have Shiv on, and hopefully he's going to be here for the next couple weeks and to help cover for us. And Brandon is out, so he's kind of become a over-the-line grown-up. How's that?
He has, but he's still giving us, tidbits and information and picks and everything.
Yeah, and we appreciate that, and it's fun. So thank you to Wes Anderson for Moments in Time. Check him out on Facebook, Wes Anderson Music. Give him a follow on Twitter at Songs by Wes. Thanks to All Wear Clothing, first and primary sponsor of Over the Line Sports Podcast. Thank you to Crandall's Quality Lawn Care, 419-704-5471. Serves the Toledo and surrounding area, and not.
Almost got you.
Almost got me. So does not serve.
Indochina.
I
don't know where that's at. I just missed the TV terribly, and that was the first thing that came to my head.
All right.
I don't know why.
Crandall's Quality Lawn Care.
I'm not even drunk. I just don't know why.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm going to look up to see if that's a real place.
Indochina? Well, while you do that, I'll again, Sean, 419-704-5471. Serves the Toledo and surrounding area, and not Indochina. We'll find out about that.
So it's mainland Southeast Asia.
There we go.
That's a region. It's just a whole area.
Perfect. He doesn't serve that whole area. Hopefully we can get some listeners down there. Thank you to Tim at Verizon, true technology business partner, helps local businesses deploy technologies that positively impact operations and can increase revenue for the company. Thank you to Cassandra at PNC. Visit Cassandra or give her a call, 419-877-0634. Can help with all of your banking needs, whether it be loans, credit cards, personal banking. She's there to help. And also thanks, of course, I'm going to keep thanking him, Steve, Savage & Associates, for episode 100. Bought all the food from Frickers. Got fries, got all the wings, 250 wings, and I think 5 orders of the Brew City fries, which are great.
Yeah, he was more than happy to assist us. I got to sit and talk with him for a little bit, and he was an absolute great guy.
Yes, he is.
I mean, couldn't have been more happy to do what he did for us, which is, it's an awesome thing. We appreciate the space, certainly. The food is an even bigger plus. He was amazing, extremely nice guy. Cannot thank him enough. Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Steve. And so we've got a few things to cover. So we had some things from Justin on Twitter. We missed him last week for episode 99 and episode 100, which is okay. He got back to us this week, and we appreciate it. And his question was, OTL Sports Pod, what are your thoughts on this show? Do you think it has potential? Will you be watching it? So he is talking about Straight Up Steve Austin, which premieres on Monday after Raw. So tomorrow after Raw at 11 o'clock on the USA Network. And Becky Lynch will be making an appearance during the season. So the show, give you a quick premise, is about, celebrities are going to come there and kind of see a day in the life of Steve Austin. You going to be watching it?
I probably will watch a couple with my new fancy YouTube TV, which I haven't quite figured out exactly how to do it yet. But I know that I can DVR, so I'll definitely DVR that show once I figure out how to do it. It looks like it's going to be fun. The preview that I've seen quite a bit, and I don't know if it'll be the first one or one of the others, but with Rob Riggle.
Oh, gosh.
One, he's hilarious. But two, it looks absolutely amazing. And I mean, he was an Army guy, so I see they talk about that a little bit in some of the stuff that he has. So that'll be pretty cool. So whenever he's on, I think that'll be a really fun one. But yeah, I'm definitely going to watch. I mean, dude, it's Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I tagged you and Dubb in.
I was just about to mention this.
In the Dave Portnoy pizza review. He was Stone Cold. He was in New York City, did the pizza review with Dave Portnoy. Absolutely hilarious. I thought it was just funny as could be. Stone Cold, absolute comedian, but Portnoy at the end when they're doing the gun comparison of the arms. Oh my
God.
It was hilarious. And he started off saying, "You're so intimidating because your arms are like 5 the size the times of mine." It was hilarious.
So when they threw the beers, he caught him, and then he dropped one after he opened it, and he was like, "I'm so embarrassed. I dropped the damn
He goes, "I
beer."
did the hardest one, and I caught it. I caught 2 with both hands.
Right.
But then I dropped it."
Right.
Absolutely hilarious.
So a few things I wanted to talk about. Cain Velasquez had his first wrestling match in AAA, and it was actually pretty good. He impressed people in his pro wrestling debut.
Mm-hmm. Did you see it?
I saw some of it.
Yeah, so did I, and I was like,
I was impressed.
I don't want to say backflip, but the flip he did over that guy's back,
Insane.
That was impressive as hell.
I did see that.
He's a big dude.
And didn't he open up with did he do a Hurricane Rana?
I think he did. Yes, I don't think he opened up with it, but he did. Now was he? He was wearing a mask, right?
Right, he had a bull mask.
Yeah, see, I like that. He's bringing his Mexican culture to that. They all wear masks down there. I thought that was so cool.
It was absolutely amazing to see. I went in with didn't know what he would do, and he impressed.
Yes, he did.
I'm very, very happy for him. There's a few other things I wanted to talk about because we're trying to make this episode quick, but this is very important. And I'm sad that we forgot to mention this in episode 101. We had a shooting in Dayton, Ohio, which is close to us. It's actually 2.5 hours for us. So,
I'm going to be there next week.
And I was there on Thursday last week, not this past Thursday, but
this
the week
upcoming
before.
Week, right? So
yeah,
that's crazy.
And our hearts go out to them, everybody in El Paso that was affected, and the other cities who have just gone through some shootings. To be serious, there are times we do have fun on this show, but there are times to be very serious, and this is one of them. My company has an office in Dayton, and they were shook when I talked to them on the Monday morning after the call. They were shook, and I was actually up when I heard about the shooting because it was after episode 100. Mm-hmm. It was on Saturday night, and it was like 3 or 4 in the morning. I was listening to the show, and it comes across my phone. I'm like, "You have got to be kidding me!"
Yeah, it was terrible. My work has headquarters within an hour of Dayton. So, and then obviously they have family around there. That's scary. One of the guys I work with who lived down in the area, and they would go, it's not the place where they're at isn't a huge area. So, you want to go to bigger bars and hang out with more people, you got to go to Dayton. And, it's certainly scary, no doubt, hitting that close to home, but knowing that people have gone to those bars and said it like, "Hey, I've partied at that bar before." Like it's insane. It's sad. Dayton PD did a fantastic job of neutralizing, the suspect, getting that out, and we're not going to sit here and give them the light of day. It's a tragedy. A lot of people lost loved ones. More people were injured. Same thing with El Paso. But you got to appreciate the response time of the Dayton PD of getting there within minutes.
Yeah,
and neutralizing him
neutralizing
him within seconds.
Yeah.
And that's just PD. That's not the FBI. It's not a whole SWAT team. Those are just regular cops doing their job. So it's unfortunate that people had to lose their lives for that. But the way the Dayton PD got there and did their thing, that's very good. And it's unfortunately sad. We don't want to sit here and bring politics into this, but something's got to happen. Change needs made. Obviously, if you look at all the other countries, we have like 265 mass shootings over the last 10 years, I think, and the next closest country is 3. So something needs to be done. You're not going to get rid of all of them. You'll never get rid of all of them. There's always going to be bad people in the world, but something has to be done. Something has to change.
And we won't get into the politics of it because unfortunately now it has become a lot of politics, a lot of blaming, a lot of gun control, a lot of mental health, and arguments going back and forth. And we just want to honor those victims that we tragically lost and those that are injured. Our hearts go out to them. But what I wanted to bring up about this, so indie wrestler Jeremy Ganger, I don't know if you saw this, was the bouncer. He's an indie wrestler. Okay, this guy right here. He is a bouncer at the bar in Dayton where the mass shooter tried to force his way into. Jeremy barricaded himself against the door and stopped the shooter from entering until the police were able to take over the situation.
That's hero stuff right there.
That is hero stuff. So we have no idea how many lives he saved, and he deserves the praise. So I saw that story and I was like, I have to talk about it on the show. That's very important. And again, our hearts can't go out to him enough, and to everybody that was lost and everybody that was hurt there and affected by the shooting. So to go on to other things that are kind of heartfelt, we lost Harley Race last week, a big loss, and I thought this was amazing because this just tells you about, we talk about Vince a lot in wrestling and what he does and tearing up scripts lately in SmackDown, but this just tells you about Vince. So I'm going to read this tweet from Trevor Murdoch, who used to be employed with WWE. Said, I just wanted to put this out there. Harley needed to be transferred from Atlanta to St. Louis. He needed to take a med flight because he was in rough shape. Medicare wouldn't help him. A call was made to WWE, and 10 minutes later, it was paid in full. Vince McMahon never blinked an eye. He wanted to make sure Harley was taken care of. Thank you, Vince. You gave me 2 more days with Harley. And it goes on, We Love Pro Wrestling commented on this and said, Vince McMahon is often criticized for who he is, but he did something great for Harley Race during his final few days. It just goes to show everybody how Vince McMahon is as a person.
He's always appreciated, and he's a huge asshole when he can, in the business world. But outside of it, when things matter and when things need done, Vince McMahon will step up to the plate and do what he needs to do to take care of, one, and I hate to say it this way, but the people who made him money, legends and all of that. But he does have a heart, maybe a black heart, but it's still a heart, and he, this story proves that he helps out with that. And he's done it for plenty of other people, There's always been times where you hear he didn't get this person help, but he does. He sends these guys to rehab. He does all of that, when needed. He may exploit it from time to time, unfortunately, but it's fake. I mean, it's storyline. That's what that is. That's the whole point of that. So when it comes down to, real life and what needs to be done, I think Vince is very good at taking care of the guys who took care of him financially, money-wise. He made them money. That's what they did. They were stars. And I think he'd do that for mid-card guys and other people as well. So it's good to hear that he did that.
Yeah. So in another indie wrestling, Jay White actually is the first person to beat Jon Moxley or Dean Ambrose since he left WWE to pin him. So he beat him. Another thing, Jericho Cruz. So talk about this fluffy. Gabriel Iglesias is going to be on the cruise as a comedian.
Okay, he's funny.
So add him to it. And so there's that. So All Elite Wrestling, they sold out their next pay-per-view, and they also sold out their first show on TNT.
Yes.
And I went and saw Hobbs and Shaw last weekend and the day before episode 100, and they actually showed just a quick clip. Like TNT put money out there to show AEW at Jericho and Cody Rhodes on it.
Did you see what they're calling it?
What's that?
AEW's Wednesday night show?
Mm-mm.
Wednesday Night Dynamite.
I like it.
Is that not like Monday Night Nitro?
Dynamite
Nitro. Dude, it's kind of eerie. Just saying. Wednesday Night Dynamite is what it's going to be called.
Wednesday Night Dynamite.
So their first show on TV is October 9th, Wednesday.
I thought it was the second.
Is it?
I think it's the second.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, well, this website, you wanted me to grab the city. So what's the city they're in on the second? Do you know? Because I'm only seeing the 9th and 16th right here.
They are in Washington, D.C.
That's the second.
Yep.
So the 9th, my apologies.
You're okay.
The 9th, they're in Boston, Mass.
And then they're in Philly, right?
And then Philly on the 16th.
And they sold out on the second. They're going to sell out the first several. I mean, it's going to happen.
I'm seeing if they have... Well, the article says they have a hot streak for selling out venues. Sorry, I'm on a dirt sheet sort of thing, so excuse me for not having real sources here, but decent enough to go on and give you some sort of facts. It looks like... Okay, so the tickets for the 9th and the 16th are going on sale. Oh, they went on sale this last Friday, the 9th. So they did just go on sale. I don't have... The last article I have is dated August 6th, so I don't have, obviously, if they've sold out or not. I'm sure we'll figure that out by next week's taping, though. Faux show.
All right. Next, you didn't watch anything with SmackDown or Raw?
I watched the first hour and 20 minutes of Raw. I did not watch any SmackDown. And I knew that Goldberg came back again.
Goldberg on Raw. So... There's a few things here. So Roman Reigns' mystery attacker attacks, so to speak, and we don't know who it is. Brock Lesnar beat up Seth Rollins again.
Ugh. It was
He
so
came out.
stupid.
He came out hurt and got beat up.
I did not like that. I thought that was really dumb. And I haven't been watching a lot lately, so apologize if it's not, but it looked really stupid.
And so the Miz, we thought was going to fight Dolph Ziggler at SummerSlam, and Michaels was in there because it was Miz TV, Shawn Michaels, and he said, "You didn't read the fine print. I'm not the one fighting you at SummerSlam." And it turns to Michaels, and I'm like, "Oh shit!" Like I turned my fan off, and I like was a little kid marking out at the TV, and I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "It's not me." I'm like, "Son of a bitch!" And it's Goldberg.
Yeah, I think I don't know if I texted you that or not, but pretty much just sounds like a guy who Goldberg can look big because the guy's small. And that's pretty much what that is. It's someone Goldberg's going to crush, and it's not someone he's going to gas out and who's big and heavy like The Undertaker. Dolph's like 190 maybe.
And Dolph can control himself in the ring still.
And Dolph is still a good performer. So it's going to be a squash. Goldberg's going to beat the shit out of him, spear, jackknife, good night. Because that's what happened to Dolph lately for whatever reason. Must have pissed in somebody's Cheerios. So yeah, that'll be interesting. The only thing I got out of Raw in the hour I watched, besides the whole Lesnar and Rollins' terrible promo, I didn't think it was that great because it made it sound like he was going to quit, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm just going to keep coming back." How hot Trish was, my God, she is still smoking hot.
Yeah, she is. She is
Just
very hot.
Absolute babe.
So Becky Lynch and Charlotte beat Trish and Natalya via disqualification. Natalya didn't break up a sharpshooter, so that's why they won. Andrade beat Rey Mysterio. Viking Raiders beat Jay Alexander and Eric Abraham. Drew McIntyre and Cedric Alexander fought to a no contest.
Bray came out and got Kurt.
Yep.
They were in Pittsburgh, too, so that was Kurt's hometown.
Fiend.
I thought that was good, giving him a lot of heat there.
The original club beat the New Day and Ricochet via pinfall in a six-man match. And then we had
It wasn't title for title, right?
Right.
Okay.
And then the Women's Tag Team Championship, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, they won the titles.
Okay.
Iconics got knocked out first. And a funny thing I saw, I laughed hysterically, and I'm trying to pull this up. It was a good point that was made on on what Michael Cole said. I just cracked up when I read this. I was like, yeah, that's so true. And it's so sad to see that. Let me scroll over to it. Got to get to it. Takes a minute. Cole, it's an elimination match, so the Iconics don't have to be pinned to lose their titles. Actually, yes, they do, because they got knocked out first, so they had to get pinned, and they did.
Yep.
Or submitted, whatever, and they lost, so they were out. But it came down to them and the Kabuki sisters, which is Asuka and Kairi Sane, but Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross ended up winning, so whatever.
By the way, that Kabuki sisters, totally Bruce Pritchard.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, probably. And 24/7 title, did you see how it changed hands?
Yes, at the OBGYN. It was
Yeah.
hilarious.
Mike Kanellis.
Mike Kanellis laid on Maria like he was
ref
patting
counted
the
on his
baby.
back, who was the OBGYN.
Hilarious. And then R-Truth, as a nice
Woman.
old black lady, sitting there, just looks at him with the biggest smile on his face
And rolls him up.
and
then he wins the title. So it's he throws a fake baby at him and rolls him up. So, God, it was fantastic. So for SmackDown, we find out the big thing at the end is Roman Reigns. Well, he got fake hit by a car on Monday, and I was like, oh, it's an eco-friendly car. And Samoa Joe's like, we need help out here, so he didn't go attack him because all he wanted to do was fight Roman Reigns. And then you find out it's Eric Rowan, which was weird. You know, he beats up Buddy Murphy and then kind of chokes him out against the wall, and he's like, I saw Rowan. So it's like, okay, and Rowan and Daniel Bryan are standing there at the end, just looking at him. So the New Day fought them and won via disqualification. Shane McMahon beat up Kevin Owens ahead of SummerSlam. And then Charlotte Flair cut a Romo to kick off SmackDown. Dolph Ziggler versus Rey Mysterio never actually began. And Dolph Ziggler actually fought Ali and beat him with a super kick. So I'm like, oh, Ali's good and you're wasting him to try to build up Ziggler ahead of Goldberg. Natalya and Ember Moon was a double countout. Aleister Black beat Sami Zayn. He hit that black mass. I like watching Aleister Black, dude. He's fun.
Yeah. I like his entrance and everything.
Yeah.
How it just kind of crips
Rises
up.
up, yep.
Yeah, that's sweet.
It's awesome. Shelton Benjamin cut a weird promo again. And then Firefly Funhouse segment aired, and that pig Huskus was eating like chocolate in there, and he just talking to it, and then he just kind of goes dark after that. Elias confronted Chad Gable backstage, who has a haircut, which we didn't talk about a few weeks ago. And then a pre-taped promo was good with Kofi Kingston ahead of his match with Randy Orton. And speaking of Randy Orton, I saw it before we got tagged, but his wife gave him an incredible
RKO
out of nowhere into the pool.
That was cool. I like that.
That was pretty awesome. It was fun for us to see, and I that was probably the highlight of my day, actually, which is sad to say. But
yeah, it was good. Good stuff right there.
We had on here that we're going to watch Rock and Brock.
Probably save that for next week.
We'll save it for next week after
We got what? Jason.
We got Jason. We got Jeremy.
And then SummerSlam picks.
So you want to go with Jason? Let's do Jason stuff.
He texted me today, and I literally just opened this for the first time, right? And I almost started laughing while you were just talking. I had to hold it back because these may be some of his best questions.
I like it.
So question number 1, and I have to say this dramatically, please, is in his parentheses. Who is trying to kill Roman Reigns? Because I don't know if that was dramatic or not. It was kind of sad, if anything.
Daniel Bryan, I guess. I don't understand the whole premise, but
hopefully it's Rikishi.
That would be great. That would be good. It is and it could be Idris Elba's character from Hobbs and Shaw, since Roman Reigns was in Hobbs and Shaw as one of the family members of Dwayne. Maybe, even though I won't spoil the movie, maybe it's Idris Elba as Brixton. Okay, is his name.
My pick's Rikishi.
I could see that happening with the Usos, but this is the best I've seen Roman Reigns since he was heel in the beginning with the Shield. I like his character right now like this.
I like these mystery sort of angles here. It makes
except it's just weird.
It makes it a little better.
I saw Rowan. What?
Yeah, and that's the thing is what they're doing. They want that to be thinking it's Daniel Bryan, right? But is it?
No, probably not.
That's probably why. It's called a swerve, bro.
Swerve, bro.
Number 2. Natalia is not attractive, ?
No.
I think she's all right.
Do it once.
Yeah. I mean,
she'll wear kitten ears.
6.5.
6.9.
I'd let her put me in a sharpshooter.
Yeah, same here.
This one is the one that Bob made me laugh. Number 3. Who can consume more? Brandon, Krispy Kreme donuts, Gary, beers, or Ryan, girlfriends?
Well, I'm out with beers because I just throw them back up. If it was liquor, it'd be a different story. Man, down to donuts and you with girlfriends. That's a close one. I'd like to see that over time.
I would personally guarantee Brandon has had more Krispy Kreme donuts than I've had girlfriends. Just throwing that out there.
I think he likes Dunkin' Donuts though. So
you're telling me he hasn't? I mean, I can go through a whole bag of those crullers.
I thought you were going to say
Krispy Kreme.
Through a whole bag of women.
No, that's gross. And women are alive.
Yeah, this is true.
They're not rubbery and plastic and come from overseas with built-in batteries. But have you those mini crullers from Krispy Kreme?
Yes.
Amazing. I could sit there and have a whole thing. So I know that Brandon's definitely sat there and ate a whole thing or a whole bag of those if I can. Just throwing that out there. Number 4, most underrated current WWE